Hello, this is Mohsin Azam Khan here, CFA instructor, a finance lecturer in different reputable universities, and a CFA charter holder. In today's video, I'm going to highlight a very important question, a new thing. All those who are going to watch this video, I'm sure they must learn something new out of this. The question is very simple. A higher return on equity always good? Which is, if whenever we see a company has improved its return on equity ratio, does that mean it is always a good sign for the company or the investors? Does that mean that we can rely always on the high return on equity? So I've seen this misconception in many of the university students, that they believe that return on equity should always be higher than before. Obviously, it should be, but it is always a good sign. And I'm going to debunk that myth in this video. No, the answer is no. A higher return on equity is not always a good sign. For that, you have to dissect the reasons of a higher return on equity. And for that purpose, in this video, I'm going to introduce you with a tool called DuPont analysis, which is also being taught in the CFA curriculum, which is called DuPont analysis, which divides your return on equity into three segments, which is number one, net profit margin. We all know, firstly, that return on equity is simply net profit upon equity. I hope so. My audience is good at finance, so they must be knowing this. So the first thing that return on equity comes from is your net profit margin. The higher net profit margin, obviously, it gives a boost to your profitability, hence the higher return on equity. The second reason could be sales upon total asset, which is also called asset turnover, that how much sales are you generating from your total assets. So if it boosts up, obviously your return on equity will go up. And the third thing is called financial leverage, that how much multiple are your total assets of equity. Like, let's suppose the answer of this is 3. What does that mean? If I expand this fraction more, this means 3 upon 1, which means $3 are total assets, whereas equity is just $1. So if my equity is $1, I understand that from that 1, I can have $1 of total assets. But over here, total assets are 3. So where is the extra 2 coming from? So that extra 2 is coming from your debt. You're raising debt for that. So this 3 equates your total assets 3 here. So the higher the financial leverage ratio is, that means the higher the organization is raising debt, the higher the debt is going up in the organization. So now let's put up a case here so you can understand this quickly. So let's assume a company has increased its return on equity. So as an analyst, do I just believe it's a good thing? No. First, I look on to the DuPont analysis. I see if it is coming from due to higher net profit margin, that's a good sign, because somewhere the organization has improved its profitability. Number two, it is coming due to a higher asset turnover ratio. Again, that's a good sign, because the efficiency of their assets increasing, maybe because of technological advancements, maybe because they have used some good production methods, which is, or productivity methods, which is increasing their sales as per the percentage of their total assets. That's a good sign. What if because it is increasing due to higher financial leverage, which simply means that the debt is rising along with a higher return on equity. And that's not a good sign. Let's understand that more. What the organization may do, simply, let's suppose that this is their capital structure. Equity is 50, debt is also 50. So they have 50%, let's assume 50% they have equity and 50% they have debt. Now, in order to increase their return on equity, what the organization did was convert its equity into debt. They lowered their equity to 20% and transferred that 30% into debt. They raised debt for that, and hence their debt became 80%. So what they did was simply they maintained their profits, but they reduced their equity and increased their debt. So for that reason also, equity will go down. And in return on equity, we do not have a debt function. Ultimately, your return on equity will go up, not because of improved performance, not because of improved efficiency, only by switching equity towards debt. Or case number two, it could be because the company is increasing its profits through an increase in debts. So they are taking more and more debts and increasing their profit with that debt money. And ultimately, that is also causing return on equity to go up. So what's then issue with this rise in return on equity? The issue is that along with higher return on equity, they are increasing their financial risk as well. Financial risk is also going up for the company. Hence, there is a more chance of bankruptcy in future if they start compiling too much debt under their books. So now after this video, if someone asks you, sir, is it always good to have a higher return on equity? Your answer should be depends on the reason. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for more knowledge, keep on following me. Thank you so much.